Guys, welcome back to a new vlog. I guess this is gonna be a new vlog. I wanted to first start off this video by talking to you guys about something that's really personal to me, and just something that happens sometimes to me, and it's been a really long time actually since I've dealt with any of it, which I'm really grateful for. But it did surface about a week ago a little bit, and every time it happens, I feel like my world comes crashing down and I feel suffocated from it. But basically, I know for a fact that I'm OCD, so just little things. You guys know I like my house pretty clean. That's one thing. It took me a long time to realize that more than likely that's what I have. There's other certain things throughout my life that I've obsessed over. I feel like nothing that ever really caused me harm though, like nothing that I couldn't like eventually, you know, get past. But before we went to the beach, I was just outside with Cole. It was like really random. I walked up to the hill and then I just had an intrusive thought basically about rumination, which is what happened to me. If you guys are new to my channel, 2 years ago I experienced rumination for the first time ever in my life. And I also think it's also just a habit more than it is, like, I know it's OCD too, but like it can be from that, I guess, but mine is more based off of a trauma experience, I guess. But I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. Your brain is like tricking you into thinking that you need to be obsessed over one particular thing or one thought, and you just kind of feel like you're on a hamster wheel is the best way to explain rumination. And you can't really do anything else. It's really hard to think about what you're going to do next in the day. I mean, I can do things, but at the same time, I'm also driving myself crazy in my head. So it's really a hard thing to explain to anybody that hasn't went through it. My husband doesn't really understand because he's never had it before. So, and actually though, one of the good things is that the further away you get away from that particular thought, the easier it is for you to go back to just living normally and thinking about multiple things. And it's really simple after that. But I just felt like the last vlog that you guys saw, I was dealing with it on and off, which I do feel like now that I know how to control it a lot of the times, and I know what to do pretty much, it doesn't consume my whole day or anything like it did the very first time that I had it. I really didn't understand what the hell was happening to me. And that messed me up because that is what, in my opinion, caused me to have trauma, because for the first time in my life, I didn't have control for the first time. And that traumatized me. I don't know why, because I was such a go-getter, always happy-go-lucky type of person that never paid attention to my thoughts ever, which I'm very lucky for. I never experienced a panic attack before until trying to think when I had my first panic attack. I think it was a couple years ago for the first time in my life, and I'm 30 years old, so like I've went my whole life and never really even known what that was. I didn't know what an anxiety attack was or that, because I never dealt with that stuff. Now don't get me wrong, I've had anxiety my whole life, but my anxiety that I've had is mainly social anxiety. Growing up is what I had, because I was very shy, so that was basically my anxiety. And then I also am a little bit of a hypochondriac. Anytime I get sick, I always feel like I'm dying basically. And if it has anything to do with my chest or feeling like I can't breathe, or if I feel lightheaded or feel like I'm gonna pass out, that instantly triggers anxiety attacks for me, like right away. So health related stuff and social anxiety, those are my anxieties. The social one isn't as bad now, thank God, because now I can be around people and actually have conversations with people, even though I feel like I'm awkward at first, because until I get to know you, I'm still very shy, I feel like. But I'm just giving you guys a little background. I have a lot of new followers, but I wanted to just talk to you guys about this because a lot of people can watch someone's videos and think that their life is perfect, or think that, oh my god, look how much fun they're having, look at their life, nothing bad ever happens to them, I wish I could be like them. Well, the truth is no one's life is perfect, and if I don't come on here and open up and be honest, then I'm just basically putting out an image that isn't always true. So I don't want to be like that. I want to be true. I want to be honest, and just open up, I guess. So I've had about 7 months of like living my best life. I've honestly been so happy. I don't know if you guys can even tell in my videos, but I've been myself. Like, I've been just free of like worry and just a lot of things. Now, don't get me wrong, the coronavirus did send me a little bit of anxiety because I was just worried about my husband getting sick, or Cole getting sick, even myself getting sick, because I don't like to be sick. But it was nothing that I couldn't like control, I guess. So I don't know. I had a couple of you guys comment on my videos, and you guys have opened up too. I want people to be able to come here in my comment section and be able to share their experiences, because I think if you open up and talk about it, you can really help one another. Maybe make everybody feel like they're not alone, because mental health is a real thing. A long time ago, I was a person that believed that it wasn't a real thing. I believed that it was bullcrap, and I believed that everybody could get themselves out of their tough times. And the truth is, yes, some people can help themselves and get out of situations, but some people cannot. So, you know, I'm just an open-minded person, I really am. But I had to explain to you guys that I was dealing with rumination. Oh my god, one of the worst things is that, you guys, it sucks so bad because your brain tricks you into thinking that that's the only thing that you need to be thinking about, and it sucks. Because when you're paying attention to just one thing, it could be anything, you guys. It could be literally anything. You could think about this curtain right here. You could just think about that over and over and over again, and your brain eventually has a hard time to stop thinking about it. Like, you just keep thinking about it, and it's annoying. More than it is anything, it's really annoying, but it's consuming. And that's really the thing that I don't like, is I feel like if maybe that wouldn't have happened to me 2 years ago, I would have never dealt with it. Maybe, but it could have surfaced maybe at some other point. I've had a couple other things that's happened that has been really scary, and that could have affected me in a different way, like my husband's heart attack, or his pelvis accident last year, which has almost been a year ago, you guys, which is crazy. That was scary. He almost died. He pretty much died during the heart attack, and they brought him back with paddles. That was a really tough time of my life. I don't even know how I got through it, but I did, thanks to God, because I don't know how to explain it to you guys. So basically what I was ruminating over this last week, on and off, thankfully that I can get myself away from it, because the further you get away from that thought, the easier it will be to move on and realize that that doesn't mean anything. And by thinking about something that much does not do you any good. There's no point to it. It's just really pointless. It's just like almost like your brain cannot stop once you start. It's almost like I've watched a couple of therapists and psychologists here on YouTube. So if any of you guys are dealing with mental health, I highly recommend looking up videos, because it's like you're sitting in a session, which not everybody can afford to go to, myself included. I can't afford to go. If I was really bad off, you guys, I would go to a medical health professional, but I've never been to the point where I've gotten there once, and that was when it first happened to me, because I got really depressed, because it can cause depression. I was to the point, because if I didn't figure out what was going on, which thank the Lord that I was just able to figure out what I was finally doing, and I did a lot of research, and I was able to help myself. So I didn't feel like I needed to go to a person, because I was helping myself, and then I was basically back to myself again, if that makes sense. Where am I getting with this? So my rumination normally consists of words. This sounds really dumb, but it's the rumination word itself is what I've been ruminating over this last week, which is stupid, but it brings up exactly what it is, because I think my OCD fear is probably being out of control, like not being able to control my mind, or just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that any other way other than a lot of the times OCD can just be different things. Like, people have different fears, and I guess in a way, for whatever reason, word obsessing is mine. That's the only thing I've ever seemed like I've only ever obsessed over. Now, there is times when it first happened to me, I basically obsessed over my bad anxiety thing that happened to me a couple years ago, which I've made videos about if you guys want to go check it out. But it changed my life because of all this stuff that happens. But I haven't had any rumination issues for about 7 months up until this last week. And that's what really struck me really bad. And then I forget, I think because it's been so long that I've dealt with it, that I forget that kind of forget what to do. So I'm going to actually make me a little list later today. So anytime if I ever have it coming on, I can pull out my list and read what I need to do to help myself. And I also recommend to you guys, if it ever happens to you, immediately distract yourself, like right away as you notice intrusiveness coming into your mind. Like, immediately get distracted. And like, pull out your phone. Most people have phones, and just start looking up something and completely just get your mind away from it. That is how you save yourself, basically. It's distraction. At least that's how it works for me. There's other things you can do too, like practice staying in the moment and just in the moment, and that's it. Maybe engage in an activity or just whatever is happening right in front of your eyes, basically, like whatever you see in front of you. Practice doing more of that is also what keeps you from doing it. But distraction really is the main cure, I feel like, for it, in my opinion. Because if you're not thinking about that one thought, then you're thinking about multiple things. And another thing is basically just don't pay attention to any thoughts. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to just like let yourself live, and you can tell when you're living because you're not worried about anything. You're happy, and yeah. So I had to open up to you guys. Just know you're not alone with mental health, and I'm praying for you. Pray for me, because you know, it comes and goes this last week, but I've honestly, this time around, it's been a lot easier to control, thank God. But it still doesn't mean that it isn't hard when it's happening, because you feel like you're just out of control and then just suffocated, basically. And some people, it can give them anxiety. Luckily, it hasn't done that to me, because I think that I know that I just kind of know what to do, thankfully. So, yeah. And it sounds silly to me to be obsessed over, like, words. That sounds stupid. Like, it just doesn't make sense sometimes. And sometimes I think the habit itself starts, and then I can't stop sometimes, and then I gotta remember myself what to do. But, wow. This is a really long video, so this probably will not be a vlog, because this is really long. I might upload this separately just to kind of give you guys insight of how I've really been doing the last week. Today has been a really good day. Yesterday started out a little rocky, but then I was able to distract and get away from it, and then I was fine, because the further you get away, the easier it is to go on living normally. So I don't know if that makes sense, but another thing you can tell yourself is there is 1,000,001 things to think about in a day. So don't just choose one thing. Okay, I'm gonna go because my family's back, but I love you guys and I'll see you in the next one.